Hello everyone, I'm Jennifer Landon, broker and owner of Landon Realty Group, and this is your real estate update for May 5th. We have been in shutdown for 7 weeks, and miraculously it looks like our state is going to start to open up starting this Friday. It was announced that some shelter-in-place restrictions are going to be loosened up and allowing our economy to get moving again. And with that, I think this is a really important time for us to look back at what has been happening in the real estate market over the last 7 to 8 weeks and give you my personal insight as a broker and also as a real estate appraiser on what is happening right now in the market. So let's start for a second and let's take a look backward. 2020 in January was shaping up to be one of our best years ever in real estate. Interest rates extremely low, unemployment extremely low. Lenders were creating new lending programs for self-employed people and giving a lot of opportunity for buyers that maybe didn't qualify before to come onto the market. So I can tell you personally, in February, working with buyers, we would be writing offers that went multiple offers. And when I'm talking about multiple, I'm talking like 16 offers. It was extremely competitive. Prices were strong and there was a lot of demand, and we didn't have a ton of homes on the market, but we had our normal inventory for California, which has always been historically low for the past 10 years. 2020 was looking really good. And then the pandemic started. Things started to change, didn't it? In March, we had our shelter in place, and in response to that, many people were furloughed. How the real estate market responded is we did lose a lot of buyers that were qualified at the time, but were nervous about closing. So I'm going to give you some quick statistics here. In February, we had a total of 528 closings in the city of LA for single-family homes, condos, and townhomes. Now, just to put it in context, January and February and March are traditionally not our highest sale months. Those are April, May, and June, okay? So to have 528 sales in February is actually very good. Then in March, from March 1st to March 31st, we had a total of 724 closings. A lot of those contracts were negotiated probably the end of February and then closed in March. We had our shelter in place starting on March 18th. We did see, rounding out the month, some closings, and then started to see in April where the impact came in with the shelter in place and people being furloughed, because in April our sales did drop to 426 sales. Okay. However, I think it's important to point out that although the sales numbers did drop, there were still a very good amount of sales, especially when you compare it to February for 528 and April we did 426 in the middle of a pandemic. And in February, we weren't in a pandemic and it was a strong market. We almost got to that same number. Shows that there is still a very high desire to purchase in Los Angeles and sellers to sell. So it's amazing what we did during that time. Now, we are just starting May, but I can tell you that May is looking strong. We have 2,026 listings as of this moment in the city of LA of single family homes, condos, and townhomes, which means that there are 2,026 sellers that are looking to sell their home. And in addition, there are 719 units, single family townhomes and condos, already pending sale. So what that means is they're under contract. So our May is already shaping up to meet or beat our March. So that means that our buyers and sellers are optimistic, which is what we need. But what are some of the challenges and some of the obstacles that we're facing in the market today? I can tell you that number one, when the pandemic first came on, figuring out how we were going to show properties was pretty tricky. But realtors were resilient, and we now have our virtual tours worked out, and we know how to keep our clients safe with private home tours. Open houses right now are still on hold, but it has proven to be probably better because having the time to walk through a house without a bunch of people can be a better way to see a home. So I'm finding that buyers are benefiting from the new way of seeing homes. Another obstacle that we are facing is just the change in the lending sphere. So the pandemic and with the furloughs that happened, all the brand new lending programs for jumbo loans, which majority of what we do here in Los Angeles is a jumbo loan, lenders pulled back on all of those programs and put them on hold or removed them. So what that means is that a lot of those buyers that were qualified only through them were then now unable to purchase. So what does that mean? It means that the buyer that is out there right now is fully qualified, full doc, and very serious, which is great for sellers, but it can be tough for the buyers that wanted to buy that now don't qualify for that same program. So we will see in coming weeks if lenders bring those programs back. I know that they want to. Talking to my personal sources, I know that they're already gearing up to do so, which will bring even more buyers back to the market. But in the meantime, it is a little tricky, and buyers do need to be fully qualified to know that they can purchase that home. I would say the other thing that has been a challenge over the last few weeks is an idea between the sellers and the buyers not aligning on what is happening in the real estate industry. A lot of people are predicting a real estate meltdown. A lot of them are predicting there's going to be foreclosures. And I have to say, having experienced the 2010 subprime market meltdown, being around for Hurricane Katrina, being around for 9/11 as a realtor and as an appraiser, this is a different beast, and it's not real estate related. Does it impact the real estate market? Absolutely. It's going to impact every part of our lives. However, it's not melting down the industry. What we're seeing with listings coming out is staying steady with the same list price that were coming out in February when we had this huge drive coming and the market was really starting to boom. Hasn't changed. Sellers' attitudes about holding on to their equity hasn't changed. What has changed is that there is a disconnect between buyers and sellers, and some buyers are expecting a COVID-19 markdown in certain markets, and we're not seeing that happen. So I think for buyers, yes, it is a great opportunity. I'll tell you why. Because there's less competition right now, because qualifying for the loan can be more tricky, and you have to be fully qualified. However, instead of having 16 offers on a property like we were seeing in February, you might only have 1 or 2, which means that your competition is lower, and which is what you want, a better opportunity to be able to buy the home that you want. So it is a good opportunity with that respect, but we are not in a real estate meltdown that is going to see any type of dramatic price decrease. However, interest rates are still amazingly low, and so buyers being able to qualify is still really to qualify and to capture these low interest rates. It's a great opportunity. So takeaways. I would say, for me personally, I'm going to be watching the lending side. I want to see, are they bringing back some of these programs that will allow some of the buyers that are having to sit out of the market right now come back into the market. Number 2, we're not seeing dramatic price decreases on properties. And number 3, we're not in a real estate meltdown. The government is protecting people from being foreclosed upon, and allowing opportunities to apply for a forbearance with their lender. So there is a catch there. as far as helping homeowners get through this time. And I do believe we are going to get through it. So that's where we're at with the market. If you have questions you'd like answered to your specific area, I would be more than happy to get you those statistics or to talk you through your little niche area, your nook where you want to be, because every little area does have their nuances. But overall, let's stay positive. Let's get people back to work, and have a great day.